Hey squishies! Welcome back to some more Doki Doki Literature Club. As you can see, I am not sitting in my usual position for gaming. I'm sitting, if you watch my vlogs, this is where I usually sit to vlog, though I'm a little more splayed out than I usually am. The reason is fairly simple. I picked up some new lighting equipment. It was actually a gift from my girlfriend and a good friend. And it's drastically improved how the videos looked, but unfortunately we don't yet have set up the ring light, which is what you would use for the kind of close-up that I use for the gaming videos. All we have set up are these much more diffuse light sources that the way they're positioned, I could not get the lighting set up in a way that looked good when I was seated that close to the camera. So trying something a little bit different. Once I get the ring light set up, I'll probably not do it this way anymore. But regardless, let's jump into DDLC. I've never listened to the music this long. Anyway, it's still loading up the same kind of broken start screen with all the characters sort of melded together in place of girl whose name I blanked on that died last episode. So I'm going to jump in, load up where I was, which was this kind of creepified second time through, and see where it goes. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Did something happen just now? Eh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything? Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start sharing our poems with each other? Eh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Well, let's continue with Best Girl. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically it's not cute enough for your tastes? Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Is that the same one she shared last time around? I think it might be. Regardless, it's, you know, not bad. It's not great. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Who should I show my poem to next? Because I have so many options to choose from. Hi, Frobor. Oh wait, no. That was the wrong voice. Hi, Frobor. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. I mean, that's legitimate. Until you learn how things work, it's probably best not to suddenly start suggesting a bunch of changes, because there's very likely to be reasons that things are the way they are, and they may or may not be good reasons, but until you know what they are, there's no way of knowing. It may well be that your ideas are better, but you should do the background research, essentially, to find out if that's true, and in this kind of not very formal setting, you can really only learn that by osmosis over time. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Frobor. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Frobor. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. Wise words. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing, though. Sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spent so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. That's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Again, something I can empathize with. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. All right. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for somebody who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. Doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glance at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I branch my pen. Again, this feels very much like Monica is attempting to communicate with the player, as opposed to any of the other characters in this. You know, the bit about the others being just poems on flat sheets of paper. The 2D nature of this world. You know, it's still my leading theory on what the hell's going on here. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. That is actually really good advice. One of the best pieces of advice I ever heard for dealing with writer's block was just get rid of white space. Just look at the paper and erase the whiteness by writing some letters on it. Doesn't matter what they are, doesn't matter if it makes sense, just start putting something down and eventually you'll hit something. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. And that just leaves Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. And what was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Yeah? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphor indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. I want to apologize for any sniffles or even snorts that come from me. It has been... I've never had spring allergies much before, but this year, for some reason, they're hitting me really hard. It's been a really bad season for them, and suddenly I have them. So it's been fun. It's definitely disrupted recording a bit. I try to do it on days when I'm least sniffly, but least sniffly is not the same as unsniffly. Anyway, Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Okay, this is definitely the same poem as she wrote the first time around. And yeah, there's a real kind of maudlin sense to this. It's very kind of teen goth, which is unsurprising from Yuri. I do like the last line. That's a good last line. The bathing and I bathe kind of unbalance it. That's a bit awkward. Anyway, yeah. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. Actually, I was going to comment on that. From this distance, her handwriting is a little hard to read. All the others were pretty easy. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. Well, I was. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Yeah? That's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Frobor. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. Yeah, I mean, it's about someone bit by bit disappearing. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Yeah, it's nothing, really. yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Frobor. Me too. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities, even if they are just being nice. It was slightly distorted there. There's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it didn't really come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Frobor did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. Damn, that's some shade. And Frobor liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Frobor appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Frobor started showing up. Wow. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities on others like that. You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Yeah, this is destabilizing without, what's her name to balance it? Me? Look at who's talking, you wannabe edgy bitch. Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know. If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. Like, this is really kind of unsettling. With the static and the music getting faster and faster. And are they zooming in slowly? You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful, you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you? Wow. Wow. Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Wow. Okay. Yeah, go on. Let Frobor hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly, Yuri turns towards me as if she just noticed I was standing here. Frobor, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. Whoa. I don't even know. I think it's asking me to side with someone. And in this particular argument, I kind of feel that Yuri's less bad. Like, Natsuki crossed a line with that comment. Is it not letting me choose her? Hey, Frobor, why don't we step outside for a little bit, okay? That was weird. Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I wonder, I'm assuming that no matter who I picked, it would have just kept zooming in like that and not letting me pick them. I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes, but I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Frobor, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monika. You can go first, Monika. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Frobor. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really... Okay. Did Monika just skip the romantic scene between me and Yuri? Because that sure feels like what Monika just did. Okay. Let's pick a word that Yuri would like. I think I'm going to, again, try to balance between Yuri and Natsuki. So that's one for Yuri. That sounds like a Natsuki word. That sounds like a Yuri word. No, that was a Natsuki word. Okay, so now I need a Yuri word. Okay. Now... It's 2 and 2, so let's go for a Natsuki word and a Yuri word, a Natsuki word, a Yuri word, Natsuki, Yuri, Natsuki, Yuri, Natsuki, Yuri, Natsuki, Yuri, Natsuki, Yuri, Natsuki, and Yuri. Alright, exactly 10 for each of them. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Welcome back, Frobor. Okay. Hi, Yuri. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's Yuri's expression. The weight of yesterday's quarrel still hangs in the air a little. Yuri glances over her shoulder, looking around the room. Natsuki's reading manga at a desk. And surprisingly, Monica isn't here yet. Suddenly, Yuri takes my arm and pulls me to the corner of the room. About yesterday, I really need to apologize. Nothing like that has ever happened before. And something just came over me, I guess. I wasn't acting mentally sound. Please don't think we're usually like this. Not just me, but Natsuki as well. Yuri, I'm happy that you were considerate and apologized. You don't have to worry too much. Even though I've only been here a couple days, I could tell something was off yesterday. What with, the glitching and the static. Maybe we were just a little extra sensitive because it was our first time sharing poems. But whatever it was, it didn't make me think any less of you. I had already decided that there's no way you can be a bad person. And now that you're apologizing, I know you really didn't mean it. Frobor, don't say those kinds of things so frankly. They make me a little too happy. I'm really glad that you're such an understanding person. And I'm really glad that you joined this club. Everything's a little bit brighter with you around, and, sorry, what am I saying right now? Hey, have you guys seen Monica? No, I haven't. I was also kind of wondering where she was. Man, Yuri, I'm guessing you haven't either? Yuri is clearly taken aback by how calmly Natsuki is addressing her. No, I haven't. Jeez, this isn't like her at all. I know it's stupid, but I can't help but worry a little bit. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Natsuki, about yesterday, I just want to apologize. I promise I didn't mean any of the things I said. I'll do my best to stay under control from now on. So, Yuri, what the heck are you talking about? Yeah, I saw this coming. It was literal. Natsuki literally has no memory of it. Did you do something yesterday? Eh? Jeez. Whatever's on your mind, I'm sure it was nothing. That switch to the white on black text is so freaky. I don't even remember anything bad happening. Like, that's clearly someone else overwriting her text. You're the kind of person who worries too much about the little things, aren't you? But I'll accept your apology anyway, if it helps you feel better about it. Besides, it's kind of nice to be here, since I was always afraid you secretly hated me or something like that. No, not at all. I don't hate you. Well, you're kind of weird, but I don't hate you either. Natsuki turns to me. You're still on trial, though. Hey. Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Oh, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Nah. Well, Natsuki was. I was not. What took you so long anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica. Don't give me more credit than I deserve. I guess I've been practicing for a while, but I'm still not really good yet. Still, that must require a lot of dedication. So, I'm still impressed. Well, thanks, Yuri. You should play something for us sometime. Monica looks at me. Well, I am working on writing a song, but it's not quite done yet. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. That sounds cool. I look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Frogor. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I was hoping that I could share it with you anyway. I guess that's why I've been practicing so much recently. I see. I'm not sure if Monaco is referring to the whole club or just me. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? Not really. I choose not to bring up anything that the three of us talked about. Besides, Natsuki has already run off into the closet. Frogor, since your compliments put me in a good mood, I was wondering if you would like to spend some time together today. I mean, in the club. Yeah, definitely. I planned on it anyway. Okay. Can we start now? Let's find a place to sit. I'm being a little forceful, aren't I? I'm sorry. My heart just won't stop pounding for some reason. Don't worry about it. If anything, it's nice to see you have so much energy. Yeah, but I need to try to calm down. I won't be able to focus on reading like this. Take your time. Yuri takes a deep breath and pulls a copy of the book out of her bag. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk and then I'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. That's okay. You stay here. It won't take long. Pitcher in hand, Yuri hurries out of the classroom. Did Yuri leave you? Did Yuri leave you again? No, it's not like that this time. She's just filling up the water pitcher to make tea. Oh, okay. Sorry for misunderstanding. 10 minutes pass. Yuri said it wouldn't take long. Is something holding her up? I'm bored just waiting here, so I decide to go look for her. Oh god, she's dead, isn't she? Let's see. The most logical place for Yuri to be would be the nearest water fountain. I start heading down the hallway. What's that noise? It's coming from around the corner. It sounds like breathing. A sharp inhale, like someone is sucking the air through their teeth. Are they in pain? I reach the corner and peer around it. Yuri? Yeah. Whoa, it like rewound and reset. That was cool. I'm back. Thanks for waiting patiently. Frobor, do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything? Woohoo. In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show, and you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do. Oh. When it's you who's around anyway. Aww. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Frobor. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Frobor, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Yeah, what's that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. I bet you do. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading. Yes, I have terrible reading posture. Yes, that's why the back pain. Definitely 100% that. Not anything else. Not something that, say, Yuri and I did not have in common when I started this game, but now do. Nah, nothing like that. So that's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieved the book from my bag, and I think this has been about 45 minutes. That's about what I try to go for. So I am actually going to save here. And call that... No, I don't want to overwrite it. I want to make a new one. Alright, I'm going to save here and call that a session. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. No, before I get to that, let me just give a couple thoughts on where this is going. It's clearly like falling apart more and more as it goes. It's hinting at this serious darkness now in Yuri, just as it did previously explore with Kaori? Was that her name? Kaori? Sayori. That was it. Just as it previously did with Sayori, now it's doing with Yuri. I'm assuming it'll do that, like, the game will get more and more glitchy and do that with each of the girls, and eventually get to the core of it with Monica and resolve somehow. But that really is just an assumption. I don't know for sure. I guess we'll find out next time. So yeah, now that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Patreon for early access to vlogs, essays, let's plays, and more. And I will see you all next time. Bye!